Hello, this is your DMV real estate market report for September of 2023. As always, we'll start with interest rates. This chart here is from Zillow. Zillow actually has the 30-year rate now just below 7%. I'm not sure where they're getting the data because this is a lot lower than what we are seeing across all of our lenders throughout the DMV. We are seeing it closer to bank rates numbers. This blue line here for a 30-year fixed, we're still seeing above 7.5. Both the Zillow and bank rate, again, are averages. Usually there's very little difference between these two sources, so we just show the Zillow numbers. For whatever reason, the last few months we've seen a big difference between them. We are seeing the bank rate is actually a more accurate source right now, just above 7.5. The Fed has a virtual meeting here in next week. We are not expecting much to happen there. When they meet again in person the following month, we are likely to see one more rate increase, possibly holding it flat. Most analysts are still now predicting that rates will come down next year. I would love to see it at the end of this year, but it will probably stay the same, if not increase slightly when the Fed meets in person for the next time. As always, this is the average. If you want to know what you qualify for, let us know. We can have you talk with one of our lenders. Also, one of our lenders now has a wonderful program wherein you can go and refinance as many times as you like for 3 years after purchase. So as rates come down next year and hopefully in 2025 as well, you have the option of refinancing. Your principal amount will stay the same, and you'll get a lower rate, so you'll lower your monthly payment. This is very valuable because when you refinance, normally it costs you several $1,000s for loan origination. Those costs are now would be zero, again, as many times as you want for the next 3 years. Since rates started to increase in February of 2022, they have gone up 17 times. So if they were decreased at the same rate or the same frequency of decreases, imagine being able to refinance 17 times over the next 2 years at no cost. Really a great opportunity. So if you're curious as to what you qualify for or learning more about this program, let us know. Happy to discuss it with you. So let's talk about the market in the DC area. Again, this is the entire DC metro area, not just Washington, DC proper. Over here in August, the most recent month for which we have numbers, there are just below 5,000 new listings. As you can see, this is 2 years ago, then this is last year, and then this is the right third of the graph is this year. We have seen steadily decreasing number of listings as rates have gone up. This is the year-over-year average. This is now broken down: blue all properties, yellow condos, and red for detached homes. And as you can see, there were about 25 to 50% on average fewer listings this month than in August of last year, when there were about 25% fewer than August of the previous year, when it was basically even between that and 2020. So a decrease from a decrease from the previous year. So quite a few, quite a large reduction in the number of new listings. These are prices. As you can see here, again for red, they started off 2 years ago, in September of 2020, started off at about 600,000, just about for the median of the detached, that's the red. It's now climbed about 800,000. So that's an increase of a third in price for the median detached home in the area. You can see here for all homes, the median price 2 years ago is about 500. Now it's about 600, so an increase of 20%. Condos is a little bit more flat, slight increase, but a little bit more flat. And you can see that here, we look over month. Again, everything above this x-axis means it increased year over year. So the prices in September were about maybe 5 to 10% higher than they were in September of last year, when they were about 5% higher than September of the previous year, when they were for all homes and detached, about 5% higher than that previous year. Condos here, you saw a dip. What we saw here during quarter one and the start of the summer I'm sorry, yes, quarter one, in the very start of the summer, where prices were slightly lower than they were last year. But we've now had a few months where those have climbed back up, and the prices year over year are higher than the previous year, which are higher than the previous year. So the number of new listings is decreasing. The prices are actually, climbing up higher despite the higher interest rates. If you look at a price per square foot, which again is more accurate than just the median price, we'll see the exact same thing. Condos sloping upwards, detached, and all homes also sloping upwards. Year over year, again, very similar chart to the median price. Q1, we saw some drop, but it's now climbed back up for 3 successive months in the black. So again, higher price per square foot this year than the previous year, which was higher than the previous year, which was higher than the previous year. So the price per square foot is still steadily climbing at a very, very good, healthy rate. The closed sales, however, is what's dropping. So we have fewer listings and a greater chance the house doesn't sell. You can see all three of these lines are sloping down. These are the actual closed properties. And if you look at the year over year, since basically July of 2021, we've seen fewer closings year after year. So September, maybe 10-15% fewer closings than September of last year, which is about 25% fewer closings than September of 21, which is about 10% than September of 20, etc. So the market has really slowed down. There are fewer properties being listed and fewer properties selling. So what does all this mean? Again, fewer properties listed, fewer properties are selling. They're still moving, but it's slowed. Inventory is down, and it will likely decrease for the rest of the year. Again, we will see rates perhaps climb again, or slightly, hopefully for the last time. But as you saw, the values are still there. The homes are still selling. The price per square foot and the median price are as high, if not higher, than what we've had in recent years. The difference is how the house is prepared, how it's marketed. If a seller is serious about selling, they will still get the exact price they want. And we think there's actually an opportunity in that if you go and look, you may see very few homes for sale in your neighborhood. But there are homes that are still selling. There's still buyer demand. Not as much, but there's still buyer demand. Very serious buyer demand. If you come on the market now, you might very well be the only home for sale in your neighborhood. And again, if properly prepared and marketed, you will still get your price or higher. We feel very confident in that for most neighborhoods, most markets in our area. And of course, if you or someone you know is interested, let us know. We'd love to have a private consultation and home evaluation and talk about what preparations would be necessary, would be required for you to go and get the market price that you want for your home. So private consultation, happy to discuss with you. For buyers, I shout this from the rooftops, this is the best time to be a buyer in the last 10 years. You finally have leverage. There are still some homes that are going to crazy bidding wars, where buyers are throwing money at the problem and leaving all of their contingencies, taking all of the risk on themselves. But we keep finding more and more properties where buyers are going in with leverage. We are negotiating home inspections. We are negotiating appraisal protections, contingencies, financing contingencies. Maybe the seller is getting a rent back, but they're paying for it. It doesn't have to be free. So if you are thinking about buying, by all means, now is a great time. As I stated earlier, through one of our preferred lenders, you can now refinance at no cost as many times as you want for 3 years. So that helps take some of the cost and some of the sting out of these higher rates. We also have for our buyers what we're calling our buyback guarantee. This is on our website. I'll include it in the notes below this video as well. When you buy a home through the Slavis group, and this is true for all of our agents, not just me, when you buy a home through the Slavis group, we will give a written guarantee that if you are not happy with 100% in love with the house, for any time in the first 2 years, we will sell it for you for free. In certain circumstances, we will even buy the property from you. We will buy it back from you. But we want you to love the house. We want you to be happy. And it could be a problem with the house. It could be a problem with the neighbors. Turns out the neighbors throw wild, crazy parties and keep you up at all nights. You never would have known that during your inspection. If you don't love the house, we'll sell it for you for free. A new guarantee, a new service that we are offering to our buyers. So a little plug for that here. If this interests you or anybody you know, by all means, reach out. We'd love to have a free consultation with me or one of our agents to see how we can best serve you and your buyer needs. But again, it is a great time to be a buyer if you are looking. That is your September report for the DMV real estate market. If any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Of course, like and follow, and thank you very much for watching. Take care.